What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast. We're talking about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? And from the other side of the world, from Nippon itself, from Banwa to Daniel Acevedo.
What's up, guys? From the future, let's do this.
There it is. So, if you have not already been tuning in, so Monday and Tuesday were our topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, so definitely check those out. I've had some really good interviews this year. Last week was Delisha Hodo. She is the Assistant Director of Advising over at the SANS Institute. And then this week will be Rico Rando. He is a Red Hatter, a veteran, as well as the founder and host of DEM Tech Folks, so DEM, Develop Every Mind Tech Folks podcast. So definitely check that one out as well. And then we've had a lot of content throughout this past week. I went a little bit overboard, so generated. We did our 4 episodes of the other side of the firewall. I had my Ask SSP, the 5th episode. I released a article for each one of those, so definitely read those as well. And then 2 additional articles for Ask a CISSP, one dealing with the development of GPTs. So we made 2 of them. One is called Ask a CISSP, so you could talk to me offline, my chatbot, to ask it questions about how you can start your career, progress your career. It's all based on the transcripts from the Ask a CISSP podcast. And then I have the GRC Evaluator. So if you are working on TIC 3.0, so that's the Trusted Internet Connection 3.0, as well as NIST DSF 2.0 and the NIST Special Publication 800-53 Rev 5. All that stuff is in there. And you can use it to help you to evaluate your environment, because it will take your evidence and then it will evaluate it and give you recommendations. So it's a pet project of mine. Definitely check it out. I'm experimenting, having fun. I wrote articles for each one of those. And then I also was on the first episode of Tech Tuesdays by Brian Odes. He's from the Black Speakers Network, where Dakisha Williams did a clinic on GPTs and how she's using it to do sales, consulting, as well as public speaking. And then I talked a little bit about security and, conspiracy stuff. That's what I've been doing all week. So definitely check that out as well. Just a lot of, and then I did an Ask a PMP article as well. So I completed the data landscape of Gen AI for project managers. It's PMI's second AI course. Really good stuff, really good resources. And you gain access to, if you are a member, right? You can take it. If you're not a member, you get a bunch of resources. It actually helps you to build GPTs with all the information it gives you. Like you can build one for lessons learned, which is impeccable. It's amazing. But also, you get access, if you are a member, to, it's called Infinity. So Infinity is PMI's GPT, and you can ask it anything. It's trained on all the PMI's best practices and what have you. It's actually very, very well done. And if you're a project manager, like, it's some good stuff. So definitely check out Infinity. They're not paying me for that. They should, but there's a plug. So a lot of content, a lot of content. If you want to see all of it wrapped up, check out the newsletter. So it's called The Weekly Rundown. You can find it on LinkedIn, and you can also find it on Medium. We have over 1,200 subscribers to the newsletter on LinkedIn alone. So it's definitely gaining the popularity with over a 50% read rate. So if you're a marketer or something like that and you want to talk to me, holler at your boy. All right. Doing big things over here, at least trying to. We're trying to hit 500 subs. So it's my last plug, and then I'll move on. We're trying to hit 500 subs by the end of the month. We're so close. If we don't make it, that's fine. We're getting closer and closer. But I would like to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. 500 by mid-month, mid-year would be great. So we just need 94 more people-ish, 96 more people to sign up. So without further ado, Shannon, how was your week?
My week was good, man. Look, I'm going to tell you something. So, I've been seeing all the AI stuff you're doing in the chat GPT and whatnot, and I told myself I need to watch Blade Runner again and probably give you a Turing test, because you might be AI. Like, the orders you're hitting.
Blade Runner is my jam.
I'm going to give you the Turing test and see what your answers come back as to determine whether or not you're still.
I might be a GPT.
That I knew you could be. That's why I got to do it. That's why I got to do it. No, you've been hitting it hard. I've been seeing a lot of it. I'm like, he is getting it in on the GPT stuff, or the chat GPT.
Not this week. I'm taking a break this week.
Yeah.
Not this week.
But my week wasn't bad, man. So I watched, and I know you watched it too, Ryan. This movie Atlas on Netflix, right?
Oh
And I
God,
saw
no.
the trailer, and I was like, man. So all right, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So I liked it. I actually liked it.
Oh,
Like
really?
when I saw the I did. It's one of those things where I have expectations of Netflix, right? Like I don't expect anything great from their production studios because it's a Netflix production, right? Like, and they're giving deals to everybody. They're handing them out like candy. You know what I mean? But I watched it and I was like, man, this is not bad. But I understood what I was getting into, right? Like I wasn't expecting, a new iRobot or anything like that, right? But
You set the bar low. Smart.
I mean, no, but like even with that, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't mind it as much. And the thing is, I seldom get over to Netflix to watch stuff, right? But I've been putting stuff on my list, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, let me go over there and see. And I saw that one come up. It wasn't on my list yet, but I saw it, and I saw the the little clip they give you for Netflix and whatnot. It wasn't the actual trailer, but they'll give you like a clip from the movie, and I'm like, I like the premise. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, don't trust technology. I feel like Billy Madison, right? Like, don't trust society. You gotta go out and find that dog. But no, I liked it, man. Like I'm guessing you didn't though, Daniel. I'm guessing you're like,
I didn't
oh,
watch
no.
it. No, it's funny because I had a buddy and he was watching it and he texted another group chat I'm in and he's like, I'm 15 minutes into this movie and I don't think I like it. And I'm like, I'm 0 minutes into this movie and I'm telling you it's bad. I'm not gonna watch it. But I never went back and asked him if he liked it or not. So when you brought this up, I was like, oh man.
So
I'm,
But you
I'm,
liked it.
I'm a second Shannon. I thought it was going to be trash. I put it on in the background. I was doing something different, and it caught my attention. I finished watching it.
What?
It's not bad. It's
Gail
like
still got it. She
don't
got
go
it.
into it with high expectations. It's a 7. It's a buddy cop movie
Oh,
with
okay.
like just watch it for what it is. Like it's not going to be overly deep, but it was actually like really good action from the jump, and just keeps
Okay.
going. I'm just like, all right, I like it. And CG was pretty good too.
I'll give it a shot.
Because there's a
I'll
lot
give
of
it a shot.
CG. But yeah, you're not going into it thinking like blockbuster. This is going to be the next whatever. It's just like, I got some time, and then 2 hours later, you're like, man, that wasn't bad.
That's true. It's very true. But no, it's not a bad watch. But again, I know what you're getting into, and you're right, Daniel. I did set the bar low, I guess, right? But it was still good, despite that. But good. It's a good watch. Another thing I started watching. Only got one episode in, but I'm going to keep watching it. It's an animated series called Blood of Zeus is the name of it on Netflix again.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's good. It's old. It's pretty old. I watched it right after Castlevania.
Really?
Castlevania.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty old. Yeah.
So I just saw it start popping up on Netflix because again, I don't get there that often, right?
Yeah, the algorithm was like, you might like this. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. It's trying to get you back. It's trying to bring you back.
But it's good, right?
So the first episode is all I watched so far, and I'm like, I'm gonna continue watching this. Yeah, it seems good to me. So I'm gonna keep going on with that.
Yeah, I think it's by the same animation house as Castlevania. That's why I
Castlevania,
started
it looks
watching
like
it. Yeah, it was
I
very
think so.
similar. Very, very action oriented. Very violent.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is my jam.
It's not for your children.
Yeah.
I should specify that when I said animation. It is
Like
not for
Chappelle
your
Show.
kids.
You better not bring your kids.
Yeah,
But it's good stuff. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So I'll continue with that. I'll get some more of that in. What else did I watch? I watched, so with my wife, she had some time this week, so we finished watching up some of our shows, right? So, not finished up, but we continue with a few more. So we watched Ghosts, we watched The Neighborhood, which I think the season ended for that one. It was like season 6. I think it was only 10 or 12 episodes. It wasn't a lot, but I think it was the season finale because they haven't come out with one in like 3.5 weeks now. So I'm like, all right, that might have been it then, I guess, right? It was kind of like with Invincible. Like with Invincible, I didn't realize that was the end of the season.
I hate that.
When it happened. And
Yeah,
I
you don't know what's about to happen. Yeah, you're just like, when's the next one? You're like, that's it.
But yeah,
you're like,
so I guess we're waiting for season 7 if it gets renewed. I don't know if it is or not. But what else did I watch? Man, I don't know why I do this, but every so often I was thinking about Bruce Willis, right? And I was like, oh yeah, Bruce Willis is sad. What's going on with him, man? And I turned on Fifth Element, man. I had to watch Fifth Element again.
That is a classic.
I don't know why. I love it.
That movie should not have come together the way it did, but it did come together very well.
Yeah, so I watched Fifth Element again, and I was just like, man, I was like, I love this movie, and I don't know why. I don't.
It's a cult classic. It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the action, it's got the humor. It's
Yes.
they I watched a bunch of the makings of how it's supposed to be Prince instead of Chris Tucker. Like originally that
Oh
was casted for
wow.
Prince. All the outfits for made for Prince. So when they put
Explains
Chris
a lot.
Tucker in them, yeah,
Yeah, explains
Yeah.
a lot.
yep. But it was made for Prince, and Prince for whatever reason had to turn it down. So they were like, we'll go with Chris Tucker randomly, right? And like it just works. It just works.
I shook a hat and pulled the name out. Is that it's Chris Tucker?
He was blown up at the time, so they
Well,
were like,
he
"We'll
just
go
on
with this guy."
Friday. He just on Friday,
Yeah,
like maybe
yep,
2 years before, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, because he talks about it, because he was like, yeah, the outfits were ridiculous, but it was because it was made for Prince. And everybody was like, what? But it makes sense.
That's
Like,
awesome.
the role was cast for Prince, and then they used Chris Tucker instead. But conspiracy, I remember this. No one else remembers this. I saw the trailer for The Fifth Element during a Super Bowl. They showed the trailer, and it was not Bruce Willis. It was the other. It was a comedian. It's a dude from Scary Movie. He's like, "Take my hand, my strong hand."
Chris Elliott?
Yes, Chris Elliott was Bruce Willis' character. I cannot find it. I have to go once the Internet Archives comes back up. I'm going to find it. I saw it with my own eyes, and no one else remembers it. No one else.
Dream.
Yeah. You were sick. You dreamt it. Like
What's his name? What's his name?
Chris Elliott.
Chris
Is his name.
Elliott. I'm going to find this one day. Yep, it was him. He was Bruce Willis' character. I saw this during the Super Bowl. No one else will back me up on it. They're like, oh, it's always Bruce Willis. I'm like, what in the Mandela effect is going on? Because I saw it.
That was a different iteration of the Matrix. Is what?
I was gonna say, it's a different Fifth Element. They just had Chris Elliott in a different universe. And for some reason, it was playing on your TV.
Yeah. Only your TV. Yeah.
Only mine. No one else remembers this. I remember it. I saw it. I'm going to find it.
You definitely dreamt that, man.
I'm going to find it. I'm going to send it to you.
Did not happen.
He is not why would he be an action star? Like nothing up
Oh
to that point.
no!
Nothing leads you to believe he would be an action star that was doing this. It would not be believable one bit. He's
I'm not
always
the only
been-
person who asked this. I'm not the only person who asked this. Like when I type in Chris Elliott and I put in FI, Fifth Element autofills, I'm going to find it. It exists.
That's because you Googled it so many times. It's cached. And
It's me.
It's just you.
I'm going to find it. One day you will all see it. And I'll be like, yep, I was there. I saw this. But I derailed the conversation. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So like that would have been a Super Bowl of what, like 96, 95? Because that movie came out in 97. It was released. So if they did a trailer for it, maybe 97. I don't know. But like you'd have to go back and get specific on the years or something like that. But
Right.
That's I find that hard to believe. Because then I think about him and all the other stuff he's done, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, and there's something about Mary. There's something about Mary. He's Woogie. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. Anyway,
I'm going to find this.
Now that we're finished gaslighting you, like it never happened. We probably all know it was there, and we're just messing with you.
We're just messing with you. That's why the thing with the Internet Archives is happening, so we can't prove it.
Yeah, they're erasing Chris Elliott from
You'll never be able to approve this.
Maintain the timeline so it doesn't get messed up.
I know. That's how the branches start, right?
Yeah.
We're telling you all this so it seems like it's a joke, but this was
right.
Really
I'm gonna walk out. I'm trying to walk out the my studio, the laundry room closet. There's gonna be a dude there with the neuralizer from Men in Black. Men in Black.
Or you're gonna walk through one of them time portals. It's gonna be one of those Doctor Strange time portals. This was gonna happen. Be in the desert somewhere, stranded. Be like, get this guy out of here. I lost track of what I was talking about.
You every now and then you sit down and watch The Fifth Element.
Yeah. So Fifth Element, watched that. It was still as good as I remember. And I don't understand it, man, because like I can't point to one thing to where I'm just like, I love this about it. Like I watch it, like even when it shows up. So like I have Hulu Live, right? So even when it shows up on Hulu Live, like with the commercials and everything and the cuss words taken out and all that, I'm still sitting down and watching it. Like I could probably stream this somewhere, but I don't want to take the time to come off of this, go back to, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. But yeah. So what else did I watch? that's probably about it. Like I said, the TV shows with the wife. I started watching New Girl again. I don't know if you guys ever watched New Girl.
I
Because
love
I
New
watched The
Girl.
Neighborhood. Yeah.
Oh my
Heard
god,
of
I
it?
love New Girl.
Yeah, never watched.
So because I
So
because I
funny.
watched The Neighborhood, Schmitty from New Girl is on The Neighborhood. I was like, oh, let me go back to New Girl again because it's been a few years since I finished the series, and I was like, yeah, I like this. So I'm in the first season still, but I started rewatching. I find myself doing a lot of that. Like I'll go and I'll browse all the different streaming services I have, and I'm just like, nothing is jumping out to me, like, and I'll go through my list. I was like, for whatever reason, I put this on my list because someone recommended it to me or it piqued my interest. And I'm like, I don't feel like watching that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what's something I know I will like that I've already seen,
Yeah, you don't want to invest the time, and sometimes you want something a little bit lighthearted instead of like wasting the energy in something that's overly dramatic or like, I don't know, not to your taste. And then you're like 3 episodes in, is like, I just wasted 3 hours of my life. I can't get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's it for me. What about you, Daniel? Man, I know you've had an eventful last couple weeks. So.
Man, it's been a whirlwind for the last 3 weeks, and that's why I haven't been on the show. And everything from like just selling my cars, getting the apartment ready, the movers coming in, just getting everything in boxes for us, saying goodbye to my old job, and trying to transition everything over there, and not trying to cry every 3 minutes because it was bittersweet for me. Like I didn't leave that job because I didn't like the opportunity there, or the people I worked with weren't nice to me, or that I didn't have opportunities. Just the U.S. California got really expensive, right? We're trying to have a bigger family, and we can't buy a house. So what are we doing there? We didn't have any family there. So, I started looking around, and I was fortunate to find an opportunity here. And, there's lots of good incentives. We have family here. Everything, the dollar is stronger here. The yen is like really weak, historically weak. So, add all those factors together, it was just like a no-brainer for us to come back. And then since we've been here, it's just, in processing hell. I'd forgotten what it's like to be back on a military base and like having to go through this. It's been a minute, and I was like, man, this is like, it's tedious. It takes forever, but we're getting our legs under us. But the jet lag is real. The jet lag, the first couple of days, like everybody would just wake up at 2:30, and I'm just like wide awake. It's like I'm ready for the day, and then it's like 3 PM, and I'm like dying. I'm like on my 6th cup of coffee, just try to like get through the end of the day. So that's what our week's been like. Flying over here with our 3-year-old. She did great actually. She watched a bunch of TV, got a little cranky towards the end, and then slept pretty much almost until we got to base. And then when we got to base, she was awake for a little bit, and she actually fell asleep again, which was a miracle. So she got acclimated pretty quick, and I think we're kind of almost everybody getting acclimated, waking up at a normal time. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been going through the last month. But unfortunately, not a lot of TV watching. So I'm jealous of you guys. The one show me and my wife were watching, which it's if you like more of a detective and dramatic setting, it's actually a reporter, Tokyo Vice. It's actually not because we're back in Tokyo or back in Japan that we're watching it, but Tokyo Vice is actually pretty good. I saw Apple released a new show called Dark Matter.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of
I
thumbnails and
actually
trailers for it.
I actually read the book like a couple years
Oh,
ago, and when I read it, I was like, this is going to be a movie, and they actually made a TV series of it. The book is really, really good. So I don't know if I like the actor they chose for the TV series,
mhm.
but I'll give it a shot because the book it was really well written. It's if you like kind of like a sci-fi thriller kind of setting, you'd like it. If you like alternate realities or that kind of like jazz as well, you'll like that
Okay.
show. I still want to watch,
I
what is it, the eighth person problem, or the one
Oh,
on
a body
Netflix?
or no, the 3 body problem.
Yeah, I don't know how good that is, but it's got a lot of
Eh,
hype, and
It's
it's
not
a
bad. It's not
it's a
bad. I didn't read the book,
yeah, that's
so
why.
it feels like there's something missing. Like I should know something that's happening, and I don't because they can only
Mm,
cover so much. But I can feel it. It's just like there's something pulling at me. It's like you should know something that has happening, and you don't because you didn't read the material behind it. So
yeah. Besides that, I started watching For All Mankind. That's on Apple TV also. It's got a
I
bunch of
couldn't get past the
seasons.
first season. I couldn't get past the
Really?
first one, and I know
Don't
it
tell
gets
me.
better. I could not get past because it's a retelling. It's like what do they call it when you take actual events, but then you
Change what happens in them. Yeah.
yeah, you change what happens. Like it's the space race, but it goes differently. An
Yeah.
alternate reality type situation is
Yeah.
what happens. And I couldn't get past that, but I know it continues to go on till like it gets from the 50s on to like they traverse the different decades. I couldn't get past the 50s.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know I saw the first 2 episodes. I liked it. So hopefully I can make it through. I think it's pretty cool so far. So hopefully it doesn't go
Yeah.
south and then I don't wind up watching it. Besides that, a little bit of anime because the anime is easy to watch and they're short episodes. So I've been watching like there's a new one, Kaiju number 8. It's got a lot of hype in the US and out
Okay.
here. I saw the first couple episodes. I'm caught up to it. I liked it a lot. Hero Academia. It's the new season dropped, so I'm watching that and a couple other ones too. But yeah, that's all I've got on my plate. I'm jealous of you. I hear all the GPT stuff, and I'm like, got the desire to like jump back into IA and all this other stuff, but I don't know if I have the energy yet until we get a little bit more acclimated. But I'm gonna bug you a bunch once I get more time and I'm settled in my new job and stuff like that to start hitting the ground running pretty hard with that stuff because that's the next forefront, man. Like a lot of these articles that we talked about this week, which is the one that with the Ticketmaster one. One of the
Yeah.
things I wanted to bring up there too is like, man, with AI getting so advanced and like the ability to take somebody's video or voice and do that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just want to get really well versed now for myself and then for me to teach my kid this stuff because if not, I think I'm gonna be like an old man like walking down the street with like a cane, not knowing how to distinguish these things and just be like lost in the technology because this I feel like is like the tipping point right now of the next generation. So I feel like I'm already behind the curve. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely not. Well, because we all are. So you're not further behind than most of us.
Yeah. But that's all I got. What was your week like, Ryan? Besides breaking your teeth, tell us that story first.
Bittersweet, right? So before I get there, like, share, subscribe, hit us up, all the things. Like I said, we generate a lot of content. Please go look at it, read it, watch it, all that other good stuff. So it's not all for naught, right? A lot of interesting stuff. I try to be very diverse this week, only because I was already working on some stuff, and I was like, you know what? Why not also talk about what I'm working on? So definitely check out all that. It's called the Weekly Rundowns newsletter. You find it on LinkedIn and Medium, but you won't even need the newsletter if you already tune into the things as they happen, right? So we have an episode every day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, our topics on the other side of the firewall. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. All good stuff. And then Fridays, like this one, everything else. The teeth. So I was eating a salad, right? I've been on a diet/workout routine because I'm trying to get rid of some of this retirement weight I've been putting on. I've been doing a pretty good job. Like I've only been on it for like a month and a half and lost almost 10 pounds just by changing my diet, right? And working out a little bit more, drinking a lot less beer, things of that nature. I was eating a salad and I'm pretty sure it was a pit. Broke a molar. So it was like,
oh my God.
Crack. It sounded like it broke my jaws, how loud it was. It's internally, right? All you hear is pow. And I'm sitting there just waiting for the pain to come in, and it doesn't. So then I go to try to retrieve the pit, can't find it. Instead, I'm pulling out tooth.
Oh my God.
Like so, like the molar, it was probably due for a root canal because it had 2 fillings in it, and I broke behind the filling. So most likely it was something that needed to be taken care of, and I just snapped it. So it doesn't hurt. Like the first couple days is a dull achy pain, but I think that was the pressure of the snap. But I can drink hot, cold, that doesn't bother me, so I'm trying to take care of it as soon as possible. So they got me in Tuesday they're going to take care of it. They could have got me in the same day, but I had too much stuff going on. I was like, I gotta rearrange my work schedule, and then I got my nieces here visiting for the summer. It was just too much. And then Monday is graduation day. It's my oldest is graduating from high school, so I was like, I can't be all numb and weird on that day either. So I was like, can you get me in after Monday? And they're like, yeah, we get you on Tuesday. So I was like, cool. So
crazy.
Take care of that. But yeah.
I was sure you were going to tell me you were eating some candy or something, man. Not something healthy.
Like,
salad.
How
hard
salads
is your
are bad
lettuce?
for you?
Yeah, I was like, how hard is your lettuce, bro? Like,
yeah, it had olives in it. So it was I went to the Greek spot called the Hungry Greek. So it was Greek salad, and I had a gyro with it. But yeah, I guess one of the olives had a pit. I just didn't didn't see it coming. Pow, gone. took me out. So I need to schedule a dentist appointment. Like being out of the military where they don't make you do it every year, I have not done it. So now I'm going. They got me.
But it was crazy is they did us once a year, right? And they were good with that. Unless you had
Yeah.
any type of problems or something, you get it more often. But like when you're in the civilian sector, they're like every 6 months. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I was
6
like,
months.
every 6 months is when you're
I ain't
supposed
doing
to
that.
do it. Yes.
I ain't doing that.
You'd
You'd be lucky to get me every year.
My teeth suck. I'd have to go 3 times a year, sometimes 4. Like my teeth are, I got just like, it's hereditary. Like my gums and my teeth, everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my dentist is like, you need to come back like in 3 months. Like seriously. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So once
Gotcha.
a couple of years, you're good. You just only lost one molar, you're fine.
Man, yeah. So most likely, they're gonna have to take it because I don't think they can repair it. It's pretty broke. It's pretty jacked up. So I'm like, ah. So it'd be my first time actually having any dental surgery since I was like 24 when they took my wisdom teeth for no reason because they weren't bothering me. I was in Alaska and that's what they did. They're like, oh, your wisdom teeth are coming in. We're gonna take those. And I was like, yeah, I'm not experiencing any pain. They're like, it's just not at you. Like, yeah, okay. Here's your mandatory appointment.
I've
So
only
they
had
took them.
I've only had one oral surgery, and it was my first duty station. I was in Florida, and they were like, it was kind of along the same lines. I think I might have been having some small pain or whatever, right? But they were like, yeah, you got teeth that haven't even come in yet, right? Like, so I joined the military very young. They were like, yeah, we're going to go in and get those. I was like, okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to sit in a chair in the office. They're like, no, oral surgery. They took 8 teeth, bro. 8 teeth. Yeah, so they had to cut into the gum, quarter them, right? And then pull them out. Yeah.
Pull them out.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, funny. Look, go ahead, Daniel.
No, I was going to say, I joined late. So I joined when I was like 27, like the cutoff back in the day. And my first duty station was the opposite. I had my wisdom teeth. They never came down. And they looked at my teeth. They're like, oh, you should be fine. It looks like they never receded or anything like that. And then one weekend, I got into the base. I was in the dorms. They just pushed through for no reason. The worst pain of my life. They were impacted, so they didn't come down completely. I go to the emergency room. They're like, well, sucks to be you. We got no emergency dentist on shift, so you got to wait till Monday. Here's some ibuprofen, and just go Monday morning, first thing that they open. Knocked my ass out, started doing their thing. I woke up halfway through with the doctor on top of me
because he couldn't. I woke up
because he couldn't get the tooth out. I guess he was jerking me around too much, and then they're like, Doctor, he's awake. He's like, look at the nurse. I'm like, okay. It's like, count to 3, 3, 2, and then I woke up afterwards.
It was the same thing. He was trying to get one out, so like my head was shaking back and forth, and that it woke me up. So but I don't remember opening my eyes. I just remember feeling the sensation there, and then the same thing, like, oh, I think he's waking up, and then I was gone again.
My experience was different. So like because it was oral surgery, like they put me out, right? So like you've seen in the movies where they tell you to count backwards from 100 or whatever. Like they told me 10. Right. So I'm a young dumb kid. I'm like, I'm gonna get to 1, right? Like count backwards from 10. I can get to 1. Look, I'm like 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm out, right? The first thing I say, so like because it was surgery, like they put me in front of the nurse's station, like I was in the room where I was going back to recover. So the first thing I say, I wake up, I go 6. That's the first words out of my mouth. Just continuing the countdown.
That was determination.
Yeah. I woke up and I said 6, and I'm looking, and I don't think anything's happened yet because they put me in the same spot where I was at, right in front of the nurse station, right? So I'm like, I haven't even had surgery yet, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I start feeling around. I'm like, I got gauze in my mouth. You know what I mean? So like they done it, and I guess that's all I was thinking about when I was out was getting to 1, right? Like the dumb knuckleheaded kid I was. You know what I mean? But that's the only oral surgery I had. But like I didn't have, and I've always been one to where I don't take a lot of like pain meds and stuff like that. Like the next day, they called to check up on me, and I think I was eating potato chips, like you should not be doing, right? Like I was a knucklehead, right? And so I talked to them on the phone, and I had surprised the nurse or the tech or whatever, because she's like, wow, usually people take a little bit longer to recover, but we're just calling to check on you, you know. And I'm like, oh no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't telling her I was eating potato chips, but I was eating potato chips. But yeah, that was my experience was not like y'all's. They put me out and I stayed out.
No, it's like the retro whatever. Like, I don't think you're. It's Twilight, so you're not completely out. You're just supposed to not record what's going on. Is what they gave me.
So I'm out. Yeah, I'm real sensitive to drugs. I'm good. I love it. I was like, just put me to sleep, please.
I've been in Twilight one time when they did the one going down my throat for the acid reflux, right? Like that was Twilight, but I don't remember it. Like I don't remember any of it. Like my wife just tells me stories about stuff and whatnot. You know, she's like, she laughs at me because like when I was recovering, she was like, your phone started ringing, and I was like, hey Shannon, because I was awake. I don't remember being awake, and I don't remember saying it. She's like, hey, your phone's ringing, and I'm like. She said, I said to her, baby, it's all right. You could check my phone. I was just like, what? I was like, that don't sound like me. She's like, it made me laugh.
Different person.
Yeah. It's like, it's all right. Yeah.
It's why Shannon, different guy.
Check my phone.
Yeah. So I don't. They're not gonna put me out for this one either. They asked me. They were like, hey, do you need to be put out? I was like, no. Like, just numb me, give me a shot. It should be fine. So we'll see. When they get in there, they might be like, we should probably put you out. But I don't know, because I've had really good experiences with the dentist, right? I know a lot of people have horror stories. I just never really had a bad one. Like I've had feelings and stuff like that, but for the most part, I'm just like, put on some music, let me close my eyes and just do what you do.
I have almost fallen asleep in a dentist chair. Like I'm not afraid of dentists or anything like that. Which, like you said, it's not the norm, right? Like Daniel, you're traumatized.
Give him the Turing test. He's an alien. Give him the Turing test. But yeah, so we'll see. I'll let you, like, next week. We'll go into how my experience was. But I'm feeling confident because I originally tried to go to VA and they were like, yeah, we ain't gonna be able to see you for weeks. So they're like, you might want to go out on the economy. So luckily, I do have dental through my employer, so they were able to get me in a couple of days, basically. So we'll see how it goes down. Up next is vision. I put my glasses on the other day and I was like, I still can't see out these. So again, I don't have mandatory appointments. I'm just like, this last time I had my eyes checked and I thought about it and I was like, it's been like 3 years because I didn't have it checked when I was in Turkey either. So I probably need to get a new prescription. I'm like, and it's not part of my work day, right? Like in the military, it's just part of your day. You just go. Like not anymore. You got to figure out how you're going to flex your time or you got to take some time off. It's a hassle. These things is rough. It's a lot of laborious work over here. But aside from that, so I watched Atlas. I did enjoy it. So I'll say it's a solid 7. I will give it a solid 7. Don't expect too much out of it, but it has some really good action. A lot of the CG was on point. I was like, okay, they doing their thing. I like this. And some humor in there as well, right? Like J-Lo can be funny sometimes. What else did I watch? There's a bunch of stuff I was going to watch. I didn't watch yet. Like I still have to watch the Godzilla versus Kong New Empire. Godzilla -1 is now on Netflix. Apparently, I got to watch that. Is it? Yeah, I got to check it out. I got to check it out. And then American Fiction. I tried to get the wife to watch it with me. She was just like, maybe next week. I'm like, no, it's good. It's for us. You're gonna enjoy it. She was like, So I'm gonna try to check that out this upcoming week. Like I said, graduation. Otis is graduating. She's gonna have such a short summer break because she's starting first summer term. She's going right into it. So I'm just like, you're gonna be tired. So enjoy. And then the youngest will start his coding camp. Right, he goes once a week to coding academy called Code Ninjas. They make games and stuff like that. He's learning like C, whatever it is up currently now. I don't know if it's whatever the current version is. Like when I was going up, it was just C or C plus. But he's learned that Python, some other scripting languages. But that's what he does every week. It's like a Microsoft accredited type situation. But the camps are themed. He has 2 weeks of Roblox camp where he's be building games. Then he has a robotics camp, and then there is a advanced modding camp for for Minecraft. Yeah, so Minecraft modding camp, and then the last week will be AI. So they're going to learn about GPTs and stuff. Yeah. It's. I was like, I'm jealous of him. I'm like, I wish I had that when I was a kid.
Yeah, he's young, man. Like man.
Yeah, he's loving it. So he builds games when he's at home. He's 9, so he's going into 4th grade. But yeah, he loves it. Yeah, he loves it. Like me and my wife had a interesting discussion about artificial intelligence. Like, hey, are we setting them up to have a bunch of skills you can't use? And I was like, no, not really. Like, yeah, there'll be a lot more AI in the future, but it's good to know these things, right? For whatever the the future holds, right? So and he finds it interesting, so why not keep him in it? So, yeah. So he's enjoying it. Like every week we get an update. Like you can download his games and play it. And every week he has an objective. Like he has to build something. Either he has to have like certain animations or certain end states or certain beginning states, things like that. So they're teaching them a lot of logic, if and then and all that other stuff. What's that called? It's
if
called
this, then this, and
yeah.
I know
It's
what you're
logic,
talking
but it's
about.
called something else. But yeah, so he's learning all that good stuff. So I'm like, it's good. It's good for his brain, right? So like, he's enjoying it.
So I got a question for you then. So what is going to happen when he figures out that you are an AI, and then he figures out how to shut you down? Like, where does it go?
The end of me is could be Dad 2.0. I just do everything he wants me to do. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. But he seemed to be interested in what I'm doing too, playing around the GPTs. And again, I'm not building these things necessarily for profit or whatever. Like these two are ones I made for myself. And then when I was talking to a friend about it, he was like, you should just round them off a little bit and put them on the marketplace and see what people do with them. So I was like, okay. So how hard could that be? And then like literally I did both of them in the night. I just took out the stuff. I was like, this is not for public consumption. And then here's an end state. And then boom. Like you literally all you're doing is talking to it. So like you don't have to know. I don't know any code anymore. Computer science dropout. All I'm doing is like I'm playing with it. Like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Here's some knowledge. And then when it doesn't spell out the results, I ask it like, why is this happening? And then go from there. So anybody can make a GPT. So if you have not tried it out yet, go ahead and try it. It's fun. Trust me. But yeah, these had specific purposes for me, and now I've kind of flipped them to see what people can do with them for the future. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I made a lot of content because of it, so that's cool. But this week I'm taking a break. I'm just doing the minimum. That's all I'm doing this week because I'm tired. And then, like I said, my nieces are here for the summer, so running around with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. So I'm not used to that anymore. So just trying to figure that out. They're a blast though, but they wake up extra early and they don't like going to bed. So there's that. But aside from that, that's pretty much it. And then playing Final Fantasy VII still. So I'm going the 100% route, like the opposite of what I normally do. So I finished the second region, 100% of the second region. That's how slow I'm meticulously going through. I'm doing everything because I'm not going to play it again. So I'm going to the third region. And it's just so cool how they expanded on the original game. Like, it's just like, y'all didn't have to do all this. You could have literally just remade the original game and made it pretty. There's so much extra lore in there, and it's just like they went over and above. I don't think they're going to get the return on investment. Like, I'm appreciative from what I've been getting through my podcast. It sold okay, which is not it wasn't their target. Their target was not okay. Their target was like, we put in all this effort, we want big return. That didn't happen. So now my concern is because it's not done yet. So when they give me the third portion, are they going to scale back? Because like I love it, but I only gave them $70. You know what I mean? Like,
so let me ask you something then, Ryan. So like, I know you're more the mainline guy, right? Like you're like, I'm on a mainline. I'm not gonna do all the extras. But we talked about this offline. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but you talked about the God of War Ragnarok had that one section. You're like, I didn't even see that. Like, but
it's called the crater. Never
right?
heard of it. Yeah.
So now you want to go back. Yeah. So like, if you'd have just done it all in the beginning and not mainlined it, right? Like this is where you would be, and you're starting to do it now.
I had to get through it. I just had to get through it. At the time, I was busy or something. But like now, I look back and I'm just like, do I wait for the PC version so I get the super ultra wide, or do I just go back and because I already paid $70, I just finished what I got. I think I'm just gonna finish what I have. I'm gonna re-download it. And I'm gonna go back through and 100% it because. I was listening to a spoiler cast because I was like, I've already played the game. They can spoil whatever. And then as I had to cut it off because there was so much stuff he was talking about. I was like, I have not seen this, like the crater. And then if you go back, stuff changes. So he was talking about like you'll see a certain character in different regions that you're going to want to interact with them and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, I didn't see any of this. So I got to play through it again. I gotta finish. Either I gotta finish it or I gotta start it over again. But I'm probably just gonna finish the portions I didn't do. Because remember I was talking about it. I was going through regions. I was like, nope, that's not part of the story. I'm getting out of there. I was like, somebody made a rock in a corner somewhere I'll never see. Well, apparently, there's even storyline in there too. I'm just like, what? Gotta go back.
You should do it. Just 100% it is as close as possible to it, right? When you go through that first time, man. And now, granted, you're gonna put in 100 hours, right? But still,
yeah.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah, because when you said 100 hours, I was like, yeah, I probably put in 40. It's so much content I left on the table. I got to go back. Same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. Like that one I mainlined, and I see videos all the time of just crazy stuff. Like there's a serial killer. Yeah, there's a serial killer in the game, and you can find clues to find him. And I'm just like, what? Gotta go back. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then super sad about Eminem's return. I heard Houdini. I'm not impressed. I'm like, he was one of my favorite rappers. Like, just stay retired. So his album's about to drop. I'm gonna check it out. Let's hope he doesn't mess up. Stop releasing content. Yeah, I digress. Yeah, this hopefully will be a quiet week. Get get my graduation on, get my teeth did, and then make an eye appointment. All the boring stuff you do as a grown up is my plan for the week. So, but yeah, definitely continue to tune in. Again, Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, and then Fridays everything else: movies, books, games, dental, hygiene, all the above. whatever you want to hear about, GPTs, all that good stuff. But check us out at all of the websites that go by our name. It's either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP. Hit me up personally. I'm pretty much on every site as RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. Except for TikTok, it's Ask a CISSP. And I'll hook you up, Daniel. And Daniel can be found on LinkedIn. Daniel Acevedo on LinkedIn. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Stay safe. Stay secure.